Peace team, just wanted to share an extra video regarding major 7 and minor 7 magic. I use the word magic because so often practice is a chance to renew healthier mental models, some people call it, or healthier mental energetics. And so what we're doing is basically we're using music to replace whatever it is that we happen to be thinking about that we want to remove from our mind. So instead of allowing drama to create mental loops, we're trying to replace the mental loops with something else, so something positive that we have more control over. So when we focus on music or art or whatever it is, we're making an effort, a proactive or progressive effort to replace whatever it is that we're thinking with something else. So for major 7 chords, the G major 7 chord, for instance, that we talked about in the 5-finger pattern, we can use 1, 2, 3, 5. There's also something that's been used in a lot of movies that are considered magic. I can't really mention the name of the company because I think they have a lot of rights that are protected. So, but I think we all know there's a company that makes a lot of magic movies and has amusement parks and stuff like that. Listening to some of their music, found out that what they're doing is if they have a major chord, sometimes what they'll do is they'll state a theme, a melodic theme, and then somehow then they take the theme up basically a whole step from the root note and just play a major triad off of that, or take notes from the major triad. So if it's in G, two half steps up is 1, 2, so it would be A major. So if you listen to this vibe, it'll kind of remind you of some of the songs. So that's the idea. So it's like sort of like a G major, but then at some point they put an A major vibe up top. So if you're playing around with G major chords, the major 7 chords, remember that the major 7 is the F sharp, and we get the major 7 chord from up a 5th major triad. So remember the major triad, D major triad. So we have this, and then we think of also A major. So if you're just jamming along and creating your practice session, you can kind of start introducing this vibe to it. And it also uses the Lydian approach. So this is the sort of a basic approach to major 7 chords, so you don't get in the way of this 4th note, which tends to kind of want to resolve. Okay, so that's the G major thing. Also in minor chords, there's lots of ways, and we kind of already talked about it in the other videos, but for instance, if you have a D minor chord, so we've got the root, the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the root and the 5th, then we know whole step down, major triad, 2 half steps down, so you can kind of just, and then D major is just back to. Now, what a lot of people like to do is use the sharp 5 or flat 6 to create different vibes that bring sort of a mysterious quality to it. So that's some ideas for that. So just wanted to share a couple of thoughts, because so often the psychology of the music, I feel, needs to be put into the practice session, because the day-to-day tends to erode away at the human spirit. And I think we can all agree upon that with work and obligations, commitments. So we can make efforts to renew and bring back into the focus of our mind some sort of magic or excitement and joy about life. And the idea is to encourage ourselves in creating new, healthier mental models, or also again called mental energetics. And that way we can be leaders in our communities and in the world. And so often the industries and social networks and media tend to mirror each other because they're close knit and they're sort of intertwined in the day to day. So what we're trying to do is avoid the stifled mental energies that are accepted over time as the normal or usual, and instead we want to be proactive and progressive to help create new ways of solving these mental problems of drama loops, sleeper loops or drama loops, whatever we're calling them. So in a sense, what we're doing is we're learning to give alternatives to these mental loops and teaching, and love is a solution. So if we bring love into the situation, or something that's more creative, or a quote that's from the past that can help us understand the future better, then that's the idea. So anyway, just wanted to share some of the psychology. We call it sage psychology, whatever you want to call it. And we just want to get back to how the children can understand simple joys in life and create new magic. So, all right, be encouraged. Peace.